Get your popcorn, get your drinks, get ready. We are going to be watching the raid that fractured the Final Fantasy XIV community.
Releasing in 2017 in the wake of Heavensward's roaring success.
Stormblood was one of the slower expansions for me, right? When ARR was like, it was fun, it was world setting, it was great. Heavensward was like a blast of fast pacedness and load of action. Then Stormblood felt like it settled down and it was establishing some more characters. It was establishing just more world lore, and I did enjoy it. It was definitely slower than Heavensward, but it was still a great expansion.
Even today, it's considered the shunned child in the family.
It really is as well. When people talk about Stormblood, they always say that it's not so much that it's bad, because it isn't bad, right? It's just sandwiched between two really action-packed and fast-paced expansions.
The raids were truly peak.
The raids, the alliance raids, the dungeons, all so good.
Omega just pops them into existence to test your strength. And more than
Yeah.
that, a lot of this...
You know what? That's such a good way they implemented it. To have like Omega, you know, when he's testing you and stuff. That's such a good way to implement these bosses.
raid series to banger. Maybe not this guy though.
Look at these two. You know what? These are like, you know, when you watch an anime and there's like a brother and sister that are just like peak fucking anime S tier class warriors, fucking Giga Chad, and then they're like assholes though. Like they're like good guys, but they're just not good people. And then the fucking main character just slams on them. That's exactly what these two are. They're looking down on you, and then the main character just slams them.
And the hardest
1700 pulls is
game
fucking crazy.
What was to come was the most controversial race in the game's history, with an outcome so hotly disputed.
We'll not recognize that team as a true world first. Oh! Wait, is this the race that had... Is this the race that, had that team that was, like, using fucking add-ons and stuff?
This fight will be the first fight in Final Fantasy where third party will be mandatory.
As I'm recording this voiceover, this is also the most recent...
Did he really say that? Zines really said third party's mandatory.
Ultimate added roughly.
I'm not gonna lie, that's how Charlian should look at all times, just this packed. To be fair, if this is harder than DSR looked ridiculously hard when we watched the video anyway. So what he's about to say is this actually required people to be playing at fucking peak. Like, peak playing. Like, full on. There was no room for any lacking damage. Like, you know, letting up. That's crazy. Making something so hard that you can't even think about taking the other classes. If I was going into top, knowing that it was fucking like meant to be harder, I would be absolutely bricking it. I'd be like, what the hell? I'd be so anxiety filled that I'd mess up constantly at the start, bro. This would, ugh.
Which eventually culminated in their stream first Abyssos clear.
Let's go.
Get out of here.
Let's go.
Yes.
Okay. Their reaction just gave me goosebumps. Tell me now, as an MMO player, when you down a fucking hard boss for the first time, it isn't one of the best feelings in the world when you finally get it down. That feeling is so good. Others!
Nice LB, nice LB. Yes, sir.
And they too would be competing for
Oh
that coveted
shit.
first place finish once more.
Neverland
I don't
won
intend on
last time,
covering
right?
Gaming groups in too much detail in this video. A number of essential telegraphs and visual indicators just disappeared. What could this mean in relation to Ultimate? With that question swirling around, game time was approaching, and nobody knew quite what Square Enix had in store for them, reducing the maximum HP of anyone inside by 99% to prevent the raid from going
99%! Bro! Is that why that guy was on, like, just the this much. The mechanics might not necessarily seem hard when you speak about them or see them, but because of FFs, like, it feels like mechanics have to be done perfectly for you to progress without, you know, fucking up.
And it became quickly tiring when it needed to be played out correctly for 15+ hours per day.
Oof. Bro, come on. How many, okay, I want to know how many of you could genuinely sit there for 15 hours a day progressing these bosses? Come on. Was that a laugh? That person sounded like a fucking train making like puffing noises as it fucking leaves the station.
Dodging the rotating flamethrower AoEs is a
Bro,
pattern,
look at that.
and ideally surviving the absolute chaos of circular
Like, it is
puddles
just
dropping
dodging
on
mechanics,
players.
but like,
When your
look at how much
debuff
is going
timer got
on.
low, you needed this third
Bro, I couldn't
and
imagine
final
healing
mechanic.
this.
Huge,
No, thank you.
repetitive-
Is healing the hardest job, you think, in like FF Ultimates?
But it was quickly discovered that these checks were
Wait. So the tactic for clearing it was to just let it hit you, huh? Did someone Rinon plays with Rinon heals with controller? Yeah, there's a lot going on
PlayStation
here.
markers, tethers connecting players in the party together, the appearance of Omega's eye on the outside of the arena, in terms of positioning.
Bro, there's
And
so
thanks
much
to the
movement
glitch
in this
debuffs
phase.
Place, it was finicky too.
Oh my god.
Did someone just fart down the mic? Holy shit!
Prepares beyond defense.
Bro, there's always
One by
so
one,
much going on the
clones
screen.
mount their assaults.
Bro,
The
they
gap
weren't
was
even they
shorter.
weren't even near killing that.
What the?
Kind of. This was where the stakes began to rise. This is where the race started to get really interesting.
Evaluation, imitation. Wait, what was the
As
bug?
soon as Omega became targetable, it would instantly auto-attack. And if it happened to hit a healer or DPS with that auto-attack,
Was that actually
there
a
was a high
bug?
chance that player would just immediately die because of how much damage
Oh
it
my
did.
god, that's so
This
annoying.
was clearly not by design. Critical performance bug, latent synchronization bug, cascade in latent defect, code smells, local regression.
Code smells. I
You
mean,
will
it's
need
just
to
a lot of
pop
movement
both
in
of
it.
these
It's
tethers
just a
before
lot of
they
movement.
expire, but they do heavy damage and also apply a vuln for a handful of seconds.
To be fair, I
Well-
also like when you're watching something like this, it's always gonna look harder on the outside of things. For like me watching it, it's always gonna look harder to me because I don't raid like endgame, right? I don't raid endgame. I don't raid high level. I've not tried it yet. I've not done any of these on Savages. So these are always gonna look really hard to me till I get them done. So, you know, it's gonna be one of the things where I have to work my way up to the point where I can probably look at a video like this and be like, okay, I understand exactly what's going on, you know?
That's right, you have to juggle all of this 4 times in total, in which each player will at some point get to do every possible job. If you're having trouble
Wow, okay.
remembering all that, here's a little song that Kindred spectators cooked up to help you remember.
Red is defamation. Red is defamation. Pass rot, pop green, watch the rots. Red is defamation. Towers 2. Pass rot, pop green, watch the rots. This is Towers 3. Red is defamation. Pass rot, pop green, watch the
Player will at some
So we
point get to
continue.
do every
Weird.
possible job. One interesting thing of note, though,
How
was
many
that there were
phases is this
leftover
fight?
Debuffs, debuggers, still affecting each player, and they had not dropped. In
6.
some way, a little later down the road. Usually, once a
What was
mechanic is
DSR?
fully
Does
resolved,
DSR 7 or,
debuffs
like,
relating to that
6?
mechanic will Final Fantasy XIV has a maximum number of buffs or debuffs that any player, NPC,
Oh
or
my
enemy can have acted on
God.
them at any one time. You'll never hit that in general purpose gameplay, because how would you? But there were specific instances with large scale player counts, or even
Bro,
healing.
that's fucking crazy. Hitting a debuff cap? That's genuinely wild.
And those 3 guys have each got to hit 2 and only 2 people with their monitors, because if you get hit twice, you die. Like almost everything else in this fight, when the monitors went off, you needed to be spaced out as you'd be hit for an AoE around yourself. This led to some tight positioning requirements.
Yeah, that sounds like quite
quickly
difficult
adjust
to line
good
up.
Control of your angling, those
Wait,
routines
so-
of optimization.
This fight had the most, what's the fucking word for it? The highest DPS check of any bosses. So did they have to play like the highest DPS healers, the highest DPS warrior, highest DPS tanks? Obviously, I know they're playing the optimal DPS classes. Why is Neverland so far in front? Who's in this fucking team, man? Who's in this team? Oh, the one shot. Bleep bleep. Critical damage.
Because the wave cannons will shoot a second time at the same positions where they initially struck.
Okay.
The pulsing circular AoE originating from Omega that players saw in the transition to Phase 3 reoccurs here, instantly killing anyone that's caught within.
Oh, so he shoots
This
in the previous
mechanical
boss and in the new spot.
happens
Okay.
3 times in a row.
Oh, blue screen. You don't say. You just fucking wipe mine as well. You know, if you were doing this phase in WoW, where you didn't kill Thornton, right? Thornton would still die. Because if you tell people to stop DPSing in WoW, they don't stop DPSing in WoW. You're like, everyone stop DPS! And you'll have 82 rogues in the back of the boss just going... Fucking... Stabbing the fucking boss in the back with speedy auto attack.
We now have confirmation that Neverland is in Phase 5.
They clearly figured out something that the others hadn't quite yet. They'd been stuck on blue screen for no less than 20 hours, according to the page.
That's fucking still impressive that they made it through it that fast.
The option was to carry over a certain number of those buffs. Maybe then players could...
And if you would like more blue screens and internet losses, make sure you follow the channel.
19 angle, 19 angle,
19?
19 angle,
19?
19 angle.
Yes! 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 Let's fucking go! Yeah!
Bro.
Oh my!
I got female.
So it wasn't a puzzle at all. It was a check.
It wasn't just a straight up DPS check.
It was a check that required you to bring a huge damage vamp, like melee LB3 or 2-minute raid buffs, as well as stockpiled gauge 3, which necessitated great execution of everything that had come before.
If they had me on the team,
And as the
they'd have
dust
struggled for 40
settles,
hours.
both you and Omega miss. A whole new world has opened up to Omega. This was the power the Warrior of Light had used to defeat it.
Bro, as if they just dynamist.
But how far could the components of a trio fill outfield?
Oh shit, okay.
The ultimate at some point has factored 3 raid tiers in Stormblood.
Bro, this boss
It
looks like
was
it's
clear
that this
would not be
phase
standalone.
looks like the boss is
Just
taking
as a
no
disclaimer
damage.
Before we talk about Dynamite, are an advanced iteration.
What is that? Is that a
of
hand?
011S. In the original, the fists will punch the floor where their targeted player is, and in order to destroy them, you must make 2 punch one another. If you do it too slowly, they enrage and wipe the raid. The exact same is true here, except you only get 1 attempt instead of 3, and if you don't...
Bro, it looks like there's a lot going on here, man. These 3 guys are...
You get
We do Savage... Yeah, but the next time I do Savage Raids are gonna be... they're not gonna be blind. They are not gonna be blind. I do plan on doing like as many Savage Raids as I can, even the old ones. So this is basically how you do the fight. How you do this phase. Bro, I'm not even sure I could follow this. Like, I'm not even sure I could follow that and just be like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Though you couldn't with 100%.
Wait, so the idea here was get as many people with quickening dynamis as possible.
Took multiple 16-hour prog days, with the fastest groups needing around 250 pulls.
Oh.
From first seeing Phase 5 to cleanly passing Run Dynamis Delta through. Otternuts managed it first, yet again.
Bro, that fucking name. Otternuts. Holy. They raised $37,000? Holy. Wait, Otternuts. Wait, they caught up with Neverland? Or do they just not know? I feel like they just don't know the HP, right?
From Phase 2 in tandem with this.
Jesus, look at all that going on, man.
Hello Nearworld and Hello Farworld at long last go off here, meaning you need to position your party in such a way there are different ways to do this. So this final
So blasting lines, separate the room. The other people get lines on them, so position yourself right.
Stacks are obtained, albeit somewhat
Yeah,
uneven.
like that. Bounce
This is
into
where the
people.
second major
Jesus.
auto-attack bug that plagued the first auto attack from Omega F to hit them before the Vulnerad fully dropped.
Is that...
Instantly killing.
That's 500k damage.
Mitigated.
Surely Netherlands killed it by now, man. They were so far ahead, and no one's heard of it. Surely they've killed it.
Dragon Song's reprise. Phase 5 was the toughest ultimate phase to progress in Final Fantasy XIV history.
I mean, he's just stated it. Phase 5, the toughest phase in Final Fantasy history.
Began to break out.
Bro, this is the one major fucking thing about progress. You will probably end up arguing so much with other people during these moments. Like, it's all good, it's all happy for a little bit, but then you end up just getting into disagreements constantly about things, and it just blows up.
Despite having pulled ahead of the pack and...
Wait, Honest, they gave up?
It happens. Just over a week after release, a reported clear came in. What first? Somebody did it. Not
Unnamed.
only did they do it, the storm began.
Bro,
Huge
oh
arguments
my
broke out
god.
across the community, and players began to harass members of the group on alts in the form of big, naked Rogadins.
Why specifically big, naked Rogadins? I, at the very least, will not recognize that team as true world firsts.
Wants to be able to
Yoshi P just fucking slapped it on the table there. Just fucking...
I'm not going to get deep.
Confiscate any reward you obtain from cheating. Therefore, the achievement and the title from the Claim Omega program will be deleted in a few days. Ho!
Leaked POV.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
Oh my god.
Bro, I love the reactions. Let's fucking go! Alpha! Alpha! Okay.
Alpha appeared was memorization.
What a cool
repetition.
model though for the boss.
Watching footage back and developing a rhythm to follow in. Loop around behind
Jeez,
the
look at
party,
this.
Avoiding the chasing circle AoEs that follow you.
Who is it? Who is it gonna be? Copium Enjoyers. Easy.
Boss.
Give me my fucking chair! Give me my chair! Give me my fucking chair! Yeah!
Bro, this shit
The
over.
journey had been long, with over a week and a half.
Fucking GG Kindred, bro. Give me my fucking.
Stream team.
Look at them going off onto their travels. Why's she copying off me?
When it comes to Ultimate, I think the best is yet to come.
Bro! Yo! Rinon ended that video in such a good fucking way. Holy shit, bro. He ended that video in such a good way. Ultimate rating on FF looks fucking incredible. Looks incredible, and it is something that I want to try at some point in my life. Don't matter which one it is, I just want to try it at some point. I am very fucking excited, very excited.